Want evidence of the fountain of youth? Check out these actors who seem to avoid aging. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 actors who look young for their age. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking another look at actors who never seem to get older. If you didn't see an actor you think deserved to be on our list, be sure to check out our first video of the top 10 actors who look young for their age.
The audience likes it real and raunchy, so I try to keep it real and raunchy. And real raunchy.
Number 10, Elijah Wood.
It's getting heavier.
Frodo Baggins is undoubtedly the name that comes to mind when this thespian is brought up in conversation. And it may come as a surprise to some that the first entry in the Lord of the Rings trilogy came out way back in 2001. But the special effects aren't the only part that's aged well, as its central character, Frodo Baggins, did not look a day over 20 upon its release, even though Frodo was 33 at the time, according to the first book. While actually in his 30s in the 2010s, Elijah still has that same youthful aura, with no signs of slowing down anytime soon.
Just checked into the hotel a couple hours ago. I still can't believe I'm gonna meet Jill Godard.
Number 9, Brad Pitt.
Gentlemen, welcome to Fight Club.
There's a small, elite squad of men who've won People magazine's Sexiest Man Alive twice, and although Brad Pitt's first win was in 1995, he looks more or less the same in his 50s. Unlike some stars, Pitt hasn't been afraid to tackle characters that are legitimately old, as in the curious case of Benjamin Button. Despite this, he continues to appear the same age in tabloids. With few, if any, gray hairs in sight, Pitt continues to win the war against time, and is unlikely to change much in the near future.
It's a bassoon, you can play them for your kids.
Yeah, we don't bassoon in my house anymore.
Number 8, Michael Cera.
What say we drink to my memory? Fair trade blend with soy milk?
Cera made it big in 2007 with the smash comedy Superbad, and soon after with the critically acclaimed hit Juno.
I always think you're cute. I think you're beautiful.
In both films, Michael played an awkward teenager who'd yet to fully transition from little kid to adult. 6 years later, he played himself in This Is the End, and still didn't look a day past 19. While in his late 20s and the mid-2010s, Cera is still likely to be scrutinized when checking out a liquor store, which is becoming less and less of a bad thing with each passing year. It's anybody's guess when he'll play his last role as a high schooler, but we're pretty confident it won't be for a while.
Who wants to sip? Sip time.
Number 7, Mark Wahlberg.
We look for the biggest, darkest, blackest hole we can stick our arm in. We hope one of them big-ass sons of bitches bites down on us as hard as we can so we can rip his ass out of that hole.
Early in his career, Wahlberg made waves as an underwear model for Calvin Klein, and he could easily transition back to that line of work over 2 decades later. His biggest physical change since then is a little more bulk and some facial hair. Of course, with his success as a recording star and a critically acclaimed Hollywood resume, he doesn't really need to go back to the tighty-whitey scene. Marky Mark may have turned 45 in June of 2016, but aside from his birth certificate, there's little evidence that would suggest this. Still remaining as down-to-earth and pleasant as ever, it's hard to hold his perpetual youth against him.
Were you in my shop?
No?
Don't touch my shit.
I wasn't touching your shit.
All right, go fix something.
Number 6, Patrick Stewart.
It was a long time ago. Mankind has evolved since then.
He first started turning heads with his Star Trek The Next Generation work in the 1980s. And at the turn of the 21st century, Patrick Stewart's performance as Professor X in the first X-Men film was captivating, enthralling, and charming. Years later, in his 7th Professor X appearance in 2017's Logan, he hasn't changed one bit. With few wrinkles in sight, Stewart appears to be in the clear for years to come, despite turning 76 in 2016. Not many actors are able to stay relevant in the action genre after age 50, but decades later he continues to make waves and appear younger than he is at the same time.
I've been feeling a little fatigued.
Number 5, Morgan Freeman.
So I suggest you sit back and enjoy your front row seat.
Morgan Freeman claims the accolade of oldest entry on our list, but he hasn't really changed physically in years. As a point of reference, The Shawshank Redemption was released in 1994, and over 2 decades later, he could slip into the role again easily. With a voice of gold and a reputation as a grandfather of Hollywood, Freeman could have simply sat back and aged freely while picking up a narrating role every few years. Instead, he's made his intentions clear to pop up in movies several times each year, never looking a year past 60.
Unless, of course, he didn't.
Number 4. Ewan McGregor.
You're gonna behave yourselves, okay? And you stay with this group. And I'm gonna be with you just as soon as I can, okay?
In 1996, McGregor made it big with his portrayal of a heroin junkie in the critically acclaimed drama comedy Trainspotting.
Choose good health, low cholesterol, and dental insurance.
His troubled and emaciated character brought him center stage, and McGregor has seemingly made a point of looking younger and younger with every year since then. Even as his older Revenge of the Sith iteration of Obi-Wan Kenobi, he would likely be carded at the Mos Eisley Cantina, assuming Tatooine has a drinking age.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
In his mid-40s and the mid-2010s, he's yet to show the subtlest signs of aging, as evidenced by 2017's T2 Trainspotting.
Hello, Mark. So what you been up to for 20 years?
Number 3. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Come on, give me a kiss. You look so beautiful right now, come on.
As far as anyone who's seen Leo in the public eye is concerned, he's been 2 ages his entire life. He appeared as a teen/early 20-something in films like Romeo and Juliet and Titanic. He then turned 30 for films like Inception and The Revenant, and hasn't aged a day since then. It may come as a surprise that DiCaprio won his first Oscar at age 41. Leo has figured out how to maintain a youthful vibrancy while taking on mature roles again and again. We suspect that he'll have more than a few appearances in front of the Academy before revealing any noticeable gray hairs.
Jordan, do me a favor, stay where you are. Don't get behind the wheel of the car. I'm gonna send over the picture.
Number 2. Denzel Washington.
The real battle is yet to come. The idea is that when it comes, it'll be on our terms.
To properly understand Denzel's keen sensibility for maintaining his youth, a close look at his breakout role in Glory juxtaposed with The Magnificent Seven, which debuted 27 years later, is required.
Now, I must tell you that I'm more than happy to cooperate. I can't say the same thing from my compadres behind you.
It's hard to say if any other actor has gone such a long period of time with so little change. With his hairline and hair color both largely the same then and now, Denzel has done in his over 60 years what is difficult for most men to do at 40. He's yet to reveal any secret, or any plans to relax and let his age catch up, which is impressive to say the least.
We don't roll like that no more. Now we use this.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
They call me Big Murder because I killed it in business school, but my friends call me Greg, and I don't know what our dynamic is yet.
Well, I think you're really ugly.
Well, I think you're looking in the mirror.
You want to go?
Anytime, any place.
I was not flirting with that waitress. She means nothing to me.
Number 1. Ryan Reynolds.
Mr. Wilder, are you trying to seduce me?
Who, me?
No.
While Denzel nearly topped our list for looking 40 for over 2 decades, Ryan Reynolds takes the cake for maintaining a collegiate youthfulness even at age 40 in 2016. For those who follow the celebrity on Twitter, it may have initially been shocking to hear his remarks about children, as he hardly looks old enough to rent a car. His upbeat personality helps maintain this impression of youth, while also upholding his hilarious reputation.
The worrying is like a rocking chair. Gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Write that down.
It took enormous disfigurement in Deadpool to make him look older than 30, and even then, he'd still look youngest at a typical high school reunion.
Seriously though, I swear to God, I'm really uncomfortable now. It's time you should go.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.